Hi dear friends, welcome to this class. This is my second class. So already in last class, we had been regarding about some basic concept of the science of branch chemistry about matter. Understand? Let it. But here in this class, I will go to start your 10th standard syllabus. Yes? Okay. First of all, I am introducing only a syllabus and test of your 10th standard. Here, see students. So this is your science standard textbooks. So government has provided the science syllabus in two parts for semester 1 for semester 2. Understand? Totally you have two books, part 1 and part 2. So totally you have 16 chapters in a science subject. You have 16 chapters in a science subject. Okay. See. So now you are entering in a 10th standard. So you have to do very hard work. You have to do very hard work. Hmm? Don't think like that. This is the corona days are there. We are also directly go to next classes without writing exams. Don't like that. No one knows what take a decision by this government. Hence, you have to do hard work yourself. Okay. Let us come to your syllabus. The first chapter is there, that is belongs to your chemistry, which is that chemical reactions and their chemical reactions and equations is there. The first chapter, chemical reactions and equations. So this is your first chapter, chemistry, chemical reactions and equations. So already I gave holiday homework for you. What I gave to write the chemical symbols of elements and try to practice that symbols of elements. Okay. How many elements are there? Totally. Before going to understand this lesson, chemical reactions and equations, you must have the knowledge of elements and their symbols and the compounds and their formulas. Already I gave holiday homework for you. Okay, I hope already you practiced that. Let it. But to understand this chapter very clearly, you must have the knowledge of that elements and writing the chemical symbols and the molecular formulas of that compounds. Okay, see. Come and let us start this chapter, chemical reactions and equations. Okay, students. So in our daily life, I think you might observing a lot of changes happens in your surroundings. So these changes are basically of two types are there. These changes basically of two types are there. I think already you have learned them in a previous standards. You know which are those? Physical changes and chemical changes. Physical changes and chemical changes. You know the difference between these physical and chemical changes. Say, lot of changes are happening. You consider, take an example in your home. In your kitchen, the milk is turns into curd. Milk is turns into curd. Then after taking a food, it get digested in your body. It get digested in your body, and we are respiring. We are respiring. Respiration is also a chemical process. I will explain after. Okay. Then iron get rust. If you are using the iron articles for your doors and windows in your homes, just observe them. If they get rust, it is also change. It is also change happened in that material. And even day and night also changes. Seasons also changes. Yes, sir. Consider yourself. Your growth will also changes. Hmm? Before 10 years, what was the height of your body? And now what is your height? Compare that. Is there any change happened in your body? Happened or not? Yes, happened. So I would say examples for these changes. What is the first? Changing of milk into curd, ripening of fruit, then rusting of that iron articles, day and night changes, season will also get changes. Like this. All are these changes, but we classify these changes as a chemical changes and a physical changes. How, sir? How can we classify these changes as chemical changes and physical changes? His doubt is there. Okay, don't worry, I will explain. Chemical changes. What is chemical change, sir? If a change has happened in any substance or any material, if a change has happened in any substance or any material, if the new substance is formed, if the new substance is formed with a new property, new substance is formed with a new property, that we call it is a chemical change. That we call it is a chemical change. Yes, sir? The change in which new substance is formed with the new properties. The change in which new substance is formed with new properties. That we call it is chemical change. I said one example. Milk. It turns into curd. Yes or no? Milk is completely turns into curd. Curd is a new substance and it has a new property. It did not have a milk property. Already milk it lost its property and it completely turns into curd. And we say curd is a new substance and it is with a new property. Hence we say curdling of milk. Curdling of milk is a chemical change. Yes or no, students? See, the change in which new substance is formed with a new properties, that is chemical change. Ripening of fruit is there. Fruit becomes ripening. Yes or no? So even fruits have also taste. Before coming to that fruit stage, it has a bitter taste. Yes or no? It has a sour taste. Maybe it has a sour taste or maybe it has a bitter taste. So after ripening, it has a sweet taste. It has sweet taste. So taste also has changed in a fruit. Hence we call it as a chemical change. Ripening of fruit is a chemical change. Take a piece of paper and burn it. Yes or no? Before burning we call it as a paper. After burning, what we get? We get ash. But we don't call it as what? Paper. Because new substance is formed with a new property. That is a physical change. Consider this example. Change in the height of your body. Is any new thing is formed in your body? No. Your characteristics get changed? No. Characteristics are same. But only physical. Change happened only in a physical quantity, not in a chemical property, not in a property. You have your own characteristics. No changed. So height, the change in the height of your body is considered as a physical change. The seasons will also get changed. That is also physical change because no any new substance is formed, no new properties are changed. Yes, these are all physical changes. Just cut the wood piece. wood piece. Is any new thing is formed? No. It remains as the same. It remains as the same. We call it as a wood piece. Any property is changed? No, it has the same property. So that is also cutting of wood is also what a physical change. Understand, students? So let's come to this point. Chemical reaction. Chemical reaction means it is a process in which new substances are formed. It is a process in which new substances are formed with a new property. New substances are formed with a new property, that we call it as a chemical reaction. Understand? So, if there is chemical changes happen, chemical reaction takes place. It's very simple to understand. Understand? If any chemical changes happen, there should be chemical reaction takes place. Just know it, that's all. Hence we say chemical reaction means this is a process in which new substances are formed with a new property. Clear or no? Okay. So this is what we call chemical reactions. Take down this definition. This is not given in your text. So pause this video and take down this definition. What? The process in which new substances are formed with the new properties is termed as a chemical reaction. Understand? See, in this chemical reaction, the substances which take part in chemical reaction, they are called reactants. Understand? The substances which take part in chemical reaction, they are called reactants. Understand? Then the substance which formed with a new property. The substance which formed with a new property, they are called products. They are called what? Products. Clear or no? Try to know the differences once again. Reactants means what? The substances which take part in a chemical reaction. The substances which take part in chemical reactions, they are called reactants. Okay, and later I will explain how to write this reactants and products in a chemical reactions. Okay, I will say, don't worry. Products, the substances formed with the new properties in a chemical reactions. The substances formed with the new properties in a chemical reactions, they are called products. That means totally now in a chemical reactions we see two parts. One part reactants, another part products. Understand? Now this. Okay. Then what involves this chemical reaction? See. This chemical reaction involves what, sir? How can we identify the chemical change is happened in that substance or not? How can we recognize, sir? Very easy to understand. That is why I am saying is the chemical reaction involves. What it involves? First one is the change in state. Understand? Change in state and change in color. Then change in temperature. Last, evolution of gas. See student, so very important points to remember. What chemical reaction involves? Let's see. First one, the chemical reaction involves change in state. That means change state is also get changed. in that material, in that substance, state will get auto change. Second one, change in color. If the substance has color, color also get changed. Then change in temperature. It may be decreased or increased. Totally changes happened in the temperature of a substance. The last one, evolution of gas is there. Finally, the gas is evolved in that reaction. So totally, if these kinds of changes are happened in any substance, understand? If these kind of changes are happened in any substance, finally, just say there is a chemical reaction takes place. There is chemical reaction takes place. Understand? When? If change in state, if change in color, if change in temperature, and gas is evolved in that substance, just consider it is a chemical change and chemical reaction is takes place. It is a taken place. Understand? Okay. Remember, if in an examination, if they ask a question like what chemical reaction involves, mention them. Write these 4 points. What chemical reaction involves? First one, change in state, and second one, it involves change in color, and third one, it involves change in temperature, and fourth one involves evolution of gas. Just see, burn the piece of paper, gas is evolved. Yes, sir. And it turns into change. State will also get changed. Understand? Change in temperature. When you burn the piece of paper, temperature becomes high. It will increase. Yes, sir. Change in color. If you burn the white paper, after completely burning, it get a black color. Color will also get changed. Hence, we consider burning of paper is a chemical change. It is also chemical reaction. Clear are students? Okay. So this is what involves the chemical reaction. In the next classes, we will discuss about the chemical equation. Chemical equation. What is the chemical? Now you are learning only what a chemical change and chemical reaction. The next coming concept is the chemical equation. How to write these chemical equations? Okay, I will explain how to write the chemical equations in a next classes. Okay, we will discuss about that concept in next classes. Once again, try to remember these points. Chemical reaction involves change in state, change in color, change in temperature, evolution of gas. If all these changes are happened in a substance, just say there is a chemical reaction taken place and it is a chemical change. Okay, that's it. Okay, don't worry. So we will discuss the next concept, chemical equations, in the next class. So students who they have not textbooks, please come to school and take admission and take a books. That's all. Okay, I request you. So don't waste your time. Now you are in a 10th standard. Value, give the respect to time. Understand? If you respect the time, time will respect you. Okay, success will not come to person suddenly. The person who follows the time, the person who respects the time until finally he get a success in his life. Okay, time is very precious for especially you 10th standard. So don't waste time, respect time, value the time. Okay, thank you students. We will meet in a next class.